David Copperfield's Building Escape Magic Secret Reveal. Shout out to at Masked Magic at Secrets Reveal and Ironman 7 also. They're in collaboration with each other. They do a good job. Yeah, turn it on.
That's bad. That's bad. Termites are a couple.
In this video, I will reveal David Copperfield's exploding building escape trick. Here's a quick recap of what happened. David Copperfield begins the illusion by entering a building filled with explosives and introduces a safe that is just large enough for him to get inside. The feed shows a large platform where Copperfield will later appear. He gets into the safe and the police officers lock it. A live feed is displayed, showing everything from the moment the safe is locked to the moment all the workers escape the building. Copperfield seems to struggle to escape in time, and suddenly the bombs detonate inside the building. It collapses and the live feed shuts down. After a few seconds, the cloth on the platform slowly rises to reveal that Copperfield has appeared underneath it. Now, of course, let's get one thing straight. The police officers and the people outside examining the platform are obviously part of the trick. The acting, where they examine the platform, hardly looks convincing at all. The fixed live camera footage shows the police officers' movement, but it doesn't match what we see in the handheld camera. For example, in the handheld camera, you can see the officer's right hand moving away from his body. But in the fixed camera, his right hand appears close to the left side of his body. He's also leaning forward far more in the live feed compared to what we see in the footage. If you're still not convinced, just look at the chain on the right. Its position is noticeably lower here. You can judge this by the distance from the locker knob. The most impressive part of the illusion is understanding how he appears on the platform, where clearly no mirrors are being used. Some of you might disagree, but I will show you why that is not possible. You can see a slight shadow at an angle here. If we had placed a mirror right here at an angle, it would only reflect the supporting structure. Furthermore, if a mirror had been used, the slight yellowish misalignment from the parking lot marking would have been reflected on the opposite side as well, which it is not. The thin shadows seen here would also have been mirrored on the other side, but it is not. All of this confirms that mirrors were never involved. The secret behind his appearance and where he is actually hiding depends entirely on the camera work, specifically on how the camera films the platform. From the moment the platform enters the frame, the camera stays at a fixed height and never drops low enough to show what is underneath. The platform is never shown at eye level. It is always filmed from an angle that prevents us from looking under it. This is because Copperfield is positioned directly beneath it. From the angle we're shown, you can't see Copperfield anywhere, but when you bring the view down to eye level, you can clearly see the bracket that is holding him in place. But if Copperfield has been lying below eye level, how does the cloth rise? That's where the framing of the illusion comes into play, because if we pan out and see what's actually going on, it's a simple pulley system. There's one single wire attached through the cloth to a flexible metal skeleton stitched inside it that forms a cross shape. The cross isn't symmetrical on all sides. It resembles the shape of a head. And during the second tug, when the wire pulls it higher, the structure slowly reveals what looks like a shoulder forming next to the head shape. On the third attempt, when the wire pulls the structure upward, one end of the cross is shorter than the other. Because of this, the cloth doesn't lift evenly. Even though the pull is happening near the right side, the shorter end of the cross carries less cloth weight, so it tilts upward and lifts the cloth at an angle. Once the cloth rises to a significant height about halfway through its movement, the entire structure provides enough cover for Copperfield to move out of his blind spot, get under the cloth, raise his right arm, and grab the short, flexible end of the wire. You can clearly see the transition point where the wire stops pulling the structure because Copperfield's hand pushes it much higher than the pulley system ever did. The wire loses all tension at this moment, and he uses that slack to move the cloth and reveal himself. Since the wire's flexible, the lack of tension allows him to shape the cloth however he wants without exposing the hidden structure inside it. Behind this mask, only the truth remains till we meet again.
Now let's go to behind the scenes. My theory about the building part is that there's two safes. One where Christopher Hart Illusionist is in that safe, pretend to be Copperfield's hand pulling the chain in, then eventually he's not going to be there either, and then a wire moves the chain up and down. And the news people say he's going into that van and driving away, but really that's Christopher Hart Illusionist who's getting into the van and driving away before the building implodes, because the Charlotte Hotel building explodes, because Copperfield has already got to the platform already, and there's a lady that posted saying that she's got a VCR video recording because she had her camera, and she recorded on the other side of a lot, and they could see Copperfield come up through a trap door. Now, Iron Salmon and the Masked Magician here, they have neat ideas. They are workable. It would work. But we get a different angle when we go behind the scenes on the news thing. And she got even more, probably, since she saw the trap door in the thin steel platform. So if it ain't mirrors, it's probably a glass that bends light around an object. Guy Kramer's bending light, invisibility, nanobots, metamaterials. I'm going to go to Charlotte Hotel. Charlotte Implosion. Good, I still got it in memory. That's the one I want right there. Shout out to D.H. Griffin Companies. Hotel Charlotte. This is the one you guys gotta look up. I need to get to the imploding part.
Of the Carolinas, this is News 36 with Rick Jackson, Dave Barker, Larry Sprinkles Weather, and Hannah Storm on sports.
Once one of Charlotte's finest homes away from home, now it stands only as a monument to the destructive power of
I need to
dynamite.
get to the magic part of it.
Laid to rest today in front of thousands of onlookers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rick Jackson.
And I'm Dave Barker. Before Hotel Charlotte could check out of Uptown, all the preparations...
I could turn to it easy. Come on, man. Get it.
It is an incredible thing to witness, even more incredible to have planned. But to Mark Loiseau, just another day's work. Then the problems began.
Apparently there were some people here in the motel.
Mark Loiseau. That's the guy's going to switch with Copperfield. Or the guy with a blue outfit, having his head down with a helmet on, running real fast. Either way.
To the restless crowd of thousands, but for safety, it was a necessary delay. There were 140 plus pounds of explosives inside the building.
Blow something else up.
Soon?
Yeah.
Okay. Question, how are you going to get this stuff out of your hair?
What?
How are you going to get the dust out of your hair?
Blow it up. Implode it.
Now, as soon as the implosion ended, the cleanup began. And as News 36 reporter Lori Arrington tells us, it won't be nearly as much fun sweeping up Hotel Charlotte as it was tearing it down.
Several blocks were devoured by a black cloud. When the smoke cleared, here's what remained. A big mess. But this stack of old bricks and mortar meant memorabilia to some who grabbed a piece. Dust covered the block, but seismologists kept everything in check to make sure there was little...
Copperfield does some last-minute planning. We hear he wants the illusion of being locked into a trunk inside...
...will be erased from Uptown forever. Lori Arrington, News 36.
As we've been hearing over the past week or so, magician David Copperfield used the implosion as a backdrop for a special trick. Now, here's what we found out.
That's Chris right there. He's talking to him. Handing him chocolate candy.
inside the
Cup.
hotel and given only 20 seconds before the explosion to escape. But our cameras caught him leaving the building, running, about a minute before the explosion.
That's Christopher Hart illusionist. He doubles in Copper's illusion, including the first part, Shadow Eyes through the wall.
You look good. Let me see your watch, please. And beat it out of there.
See, he's coming straight up, and there's no room for that.
And given only 20 seconds before the explosion to escape. But our cameras caught him leaving the building, running, about a minute.
Sounds like a helicopter, but I can't see it from this angle. That's a helicopter there.
Before the explosion. You see him here in the lower right. Now listen to his crews talking on the two-way radios.
Keep the safe in, Larry. It looks good. You look good. Let me see your watch, please.
And while it was a new experience for many Charlotteans, it's over. And when the last brick was
Inside the hotel and given only 20 seconds before the explosion to escape. But our cameras caught him leaving the building, running, about a minute before the explosion. You see him here in the lower right. Now listen to his crews talking on the two-way radios.
Keep the safe in, Larry. It looks good. You look good. Let me see your watch, please.
Yeah, I don't see a crane with a wire anywhere, but he's right. There is a glory ghost going on. There is a wire that pops up and down by air pressure. He's coming up through a trapdoor. See? See, he's coming. They're going to say, "Great trick." I didn't see anything.
You'll see it all on a television special sometime this year. Now you were down there today. What did that feel like?
Dusty. Very dusty. It is one of the most shocking things you'll ever see.
That's right. You had to go home and take a shower.
Yeah, matter of fact, it's just incredibly dirty down there.
You know, Jim Salaney, our sports guy, said earlier this week, he says they may call that thing an implosion, but that was a heck of an explosion.
It was, and we'll be hearing more about that. Well, other news making news tonight. Several York County women led a rally today to protest a Democratic candidate.
His crew was talking on the two-way radio.
Keep the safe in, Larry. It looks good. You look good. Let me see your watch, please. And beat it out of there.
Then in an isolated area far away from the... David Copperfield used the implosion as a backdrop for a special trick. Now, here's what we found out. Here, Copperfield does some last-minute planning. We hear he wants the illusion of
It was nice of Copper to share his candy bars.
given only 20 seconds before the explosion to escape.
That's cool in my book.
Caught him leaving the building, running, about a minute before the explosion. You see him here in the lower right. Now listen to his crews talking on the two-way radio.
That's Christopher Hart illusionist getting into the white van.
Let me see your watch, please. And beat it out of there.
See, he's coming up through a trap door.
Then in an isolated area far away from the hotel, long after the danger passed, sometime after the explosion, he comes up from the blanket.
See, there's no crane anywhere as he comes up. But a wireframe like a glory ghost.
You'll see it all.
I agree on that part.
Sometime this year. Now you were down there today. What did that feel like?
Dusty. Very dusty. It is one of the most shocking things you ever seen.
That's right, you had to go home and take a shower.
Yeah, matter of fact, it's just incredibly dirty down there.
You know, Jim Slaney, our sports guy, said earlier this week, he says they may call that thing an implosion, but that was a heck of an explosion.
All ideas are good.
Well, other news making news
Now let's
tonight.
go
York County women
to
led a rally today to protest a Democratic candidate for York County Sheriff.
the
But during the rally, the Committee for Fair Treatment asked Joe Mitchell to withdraw from the sheriff's race
footage
for what
in
they say
general.
are insensitive remarks about women. During a radio interview last week, Mitchell expressed his view that women are inferior to men. He also suggested women should be told how to vote by their husbands. That committee is passing a petition demanding Mitchell resign from all law enforcement positions he holds. He is currently chief deputy of the Rock Hill Police Department. Several Charlotteans in Precinct 9 had an unexpected visitor at their doorstep today. Lieutenant Governor
David
Bob
Copper,
Jordan in town this
that's
afternoon for a
my
precinct walk
YouTube
and
channel.
knock on doors for votes. Although
Let's see
state
if I can get to it.
I just want you to write 7.
Trying to get to the building imploding.
Empty or to watch very close. Pretty wild. In a few hours, the same thing will be happening. That building behind me. The only difference is I'll be inside, locked in a safe, trying to escape. This is a sheet of polished stainless steel. It's 1 inch thick. It'll play a very important part in what we're about to do. I'll have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to free myself from the safe inside the building and get to this X that we're placing on the steel plate. From inside the building to this X before the building blows up. And the blow up, or maybe I should say blow down a building, takes incredible precision and preparation. We've spent the past few weeks watching what it takes.
That's the White House Hotel in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's Emma
In
Samms.
1924, this 13-story structure had such famous visitors as Franklin Roosevelt and Elvis Presley until it was closed in 1973. Recently, Hester Properties stepped in to create the new Caroline development. They contracted D.H. Griffin Wrecking along with the Loiseau family, who owns CBI of Phoenix, Maryland, the renowned demolition company. After careful planning, the delicate job of cutting and notching the beams begins. To create places for the explosives and to control which way the building will fall. Next, hundreds of pounds of explosives are strategically placed and wired for detonation. We return now to David. It's early morning.
We're inside the building, which is completely wired with explosives. This safe was provided by the first security safe company. The walls are 4 inches thick. We've installed a remote control camera so that you at home and the people outside can keep an eye on the safe at all times. How you doing? The committee outside is checking once again to make sure that the steel plate is solid. And at the X is in place. This timer controls the detonation of the explosives. It'll count down 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then, you know what?
See, there's that guy again,
Officers are here to ensure
where he
that
switched
everything
places with
is running
Copperfield.
enough. Gentlemen, you examined the safe?
Yes, we have.
And you searched me thoroughly? Yes, we did. Thank you very much. Just keep in mind that our television audience and our live audience are seeing the exact same thing. You at home will see what the people are seeing right here. We'll simultaneously show our remote control camera outside the safe.
That safe you're seeing there is in another place in another room where Christopher Illusionist, who looks like Copperfield's hands and even looks like him at a distance, including waving at the Statue of Liberty and at the torch when Copperfield disappears on a tall platform on his fifth special and the ladies drop the sheet. and he's waving at the torch. He transported to the Statue of Liberty torch. But really that's Christopher Hart at a distance waving, and Copperfield went into the hollow stairs that he climbed up on. That's the reason why they got in another room and somewhere in the hotel, they got other policemen that are moving like the policemen in the live feed, and the live feed for the one in black and white is Christopher Hart reaching and pulling his hands in, pulling the chain, and then when his hand goes in, the chain moves up and down by a wire mechanism. See, right now Copperfield's behind the cameraman, and he's done switched with, he's got a helmet and everything, and he's set up to look like the guy with the white helmet. Even the suit's kind of puffy to make him look kind of heavy set like the guy. See, it's going to pan around, it's going to go down and pan, and that's where Copperfield is now at the pole. And he's going to switch with that guy with the white helmet. Everybody goes down. Now the camera zooms at a distance so you can't tell that's not Copperfield. And everybody's going to go stage TV left, or he goes stage TV right. He keeps looking at the building and make sure everything's okay, and holding his helmet. That is Copperfield. He's going to turn into Clark Kent Superman, so to speak. It's either that or the guy in the blue outfit right there. That could be Copperfield too, getting ready to get into the trap door. Meanwhile, you think that's Copperfield pulling. See, he's going to turn into Clark Kent Superman. That's Christopher Hart in a different area of the platform. Christopher Hart is pulling his hands in, and now he's over by the area, and the wires are moving up and down to a duplicate live feed of a different safe in the building. And Copperfield and them are now all set up. And the white van with Christopher Hart, he jumps in and drives away. He's out of there, and that means they blow up the building. 2, 1, a minute before the building implodes. And now it implodes. And remember, during the newscast, they got this angle of it. And now, but for TV, they do it this angle. And plus, the girl said in a comment, her and her brother and cousins, if I remember right, I know her cousin or her brother, whatever, they saw him come up through a trap door on the steel platform. And they video recorded it. They had a camera. They knew he was going to be there, so they were ready. It's a cool illusion. You got to give Copperfield and his crew and Christopher Hart illusionist, who doubles in Copperfield's illusions all the time. Like I said, like the first part of the Great Wall of China, shadowizing through where Copperfield goes into the stairs. It's a cool illusion. Copperfield said he wanted to do it with a buried alive escape and do the same idea, but the CBS network thought it would be morbid and not a good idea. So he took that idea and put it in a building, in a safe. That's what you call misdirection. Pretty well. Oh, I thought you were going to say pretty well.
boss for making my escape possible. But I'd especially like to thank all of you at home for being with me for my 11th television special. Good night. See you next week.
The magic of David Copperfield has been brought to you
The,
by the Clorox Company, with a tradition of
the
providing
magic of
quality
Clorox too.
to American families. We look forward to spending another evening with you when we bring
And
you
soon, in a tad future on CBS, the moon vanished.
travel arranged through Eastern, proud to lead
Everybody's been asking on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Reddit, Quora, any place of media sources, and in on one-on-one also, like what is going on with the moon? It keeps disappearing and reappearing. Well, now you know. It's Andre Cole's Christian illusionist, born-again Christian, in the 1970s created 7 methods to make the moon disappear. And he gave it to Copperfield and his illusion crew in the 1980s, and they've been rehearsing it ever since. And he said if you accidentally get that on camera or photo, send it to all his social media, at Copperfield, at Facebook, at Twitter, but now that's X. Elon Musk helped out in that area. And then TikTok, look up, the moon disappeared right before my eyes. There's more people posting on TikTok about the moon vanish than any media sources. YouTube, look up black lines on the moon. Look up Smarter Every Day. What's that black line on the moon? Or um, Iron Stardust Studio. What's happening with the moon? It keeps disappearing and reappearing. No clouds in the sky. Mine, Jesus helped me to wake me up at 3:15 a.m. in the morning, and I looked out my window, and I was going up, down, left, right, like a turntable idea, or raise the platform higher, like Francois Santa Fe Hotel vanished, like in broad daylight's idea, and nighttime and all that. Sun meets the horizon. Francois said he invented a new way to make buildings and planes vanish and reappear. Sun meets the horizon. Anyway, God provided the clouds at the right moment, and you see that the clouds are now even with the road, and now the clouds are back up in the sky again. Anyway, it's a cool idea too. And so you can use a Lazy Susan turntable, move to a different location, raise the platform higher up, or use high-tech ways to make the moon disappear with a satellite, beam a black laser on it, Tommy Story says, or that science lady guy, Catherine or Ashley, whatever, and Raven and all them, and Bob Schofield, a foil mirror blocking out the sunlight from going to the moon, or as Miles Pitwell, scientist, says, use Elon Musk's 60-something Tesla's Wi-Fi wireless Starlink satellites to block out the sunlight from going to the moon. And our church member Kenny Rock says, easy, just reflect the dark side of the moon to the front of the moon. And I said, use a black shadow laser to beam on the moon. Now I learned to Chris Kinnear, Vanta Black. It absorbs the most light. You can put a Coke bottle in front of it, and you won't see the Coke bottle. And now I learned there's something even stronger than Vanta Black that absorbs more, but they ain't got a title name for it yet. Who knows, it might come out with another one. But anyway, use a Vanta Black shadow laser, beam onto the moon to make lines going down it, or make it like it's splitting up in pieces, or making it look like it vanished slowly, or make it look like a tiny star, make it back to normal. I don't know about the egg-shaped thing. I don't know. I've recorded that too. But that might be normal. I don't know. But someone put egg shape. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, if you see the moon doing weird things, Copperfield said, it's him and his crew rehearsing it to get ready, supposedly in February 2024. But people wanted to make it longer. He got a lot of sponsors sponsoring them to make it even longer event. So it's going to be a tad future to do the moon vanish. Until times, keep an eye up on the moon. And my Sunday school teacher, who's retired now, but Ron Wilson has now taken over. He's cool too, and Tony Campbell and all them, and Sam Warren. Anyway, Kenny Rock's brother, Mike Rock, said, well, whatever he's using, oh yeah, and Dave Duncan said, use your idea, Bill, Vanta Black shadow laser projector, but in a clear cloaking military balloon high in the atmosphere and beam onto the moon. I mean, water bends too. You can use Guy Kramer's bending light and visibility nanobots, spinning materials. Added with 3T cloaking. Water bends too. And when you put a pencil in it. Anyway, as my science teacher, Mr. Bryant, said, Bill, I know you keep looking at that science book where the pencil's bending in the water in that clear glass. I said, there's something there, but I just can't get it. Well, now that Guy Kramer came across it, it's invisibility. I knew there was something there. Bending light around an object. Anyway, you get the idea. And Mike Rock, my Sunday school teacher, retired, said, whatever he's using, it's going to be high-tech, and it's going to be an illusion. Keep looking up at the moon, Bill. I said, no problem. I've been doing it and recording it